Welcome, everybody. We are so excited to have you here for this evening and our PanCAN PurpleStride fundraising clinic on February 23rd. Do this, hit goal, it says. My name is Kevin Sims, and I'm the National Director of Community Engagement for PanCAN. And I'm so happy to be joined this evening by my friend and my twin tonight, apparently, Andrea Bauer-Kuchma. And Andrea is team captain of Kathy's Crusaders in Jacksonville, Florida, and is a member of our National Volunteer Advisory Council alumni. Welcome, Andrea.
Welcome. Hi, everybody. It's great to be here. Kevin, I'm glad we didn't even have to discuss. We're just matching. Great minds think alike. So it is so good to be here. Hi, everybody. It's good to see some familiar faces and names. So I first found PanCAN 14 years ago, believe it or not, and PurpleStride has been a huge part of my life ever since. And as Kevin said, yes, I lead Kathy's Crusaders in memory of my mom, Kathy.
I love I love seeing the pictures of her, Andrea. You resemble her quite a bit. Behind the scenes, we have our producer, Paula. So you might hear me mention that name. She's going to be helping out with some of our chat and supplying resources for you this evening as well. And you guys are the star of the show, so we're going to hear some incredible fundraiser stories as well. Andrea, I know that you're a fundraiser. I'm curious, do you have any idea how much you've raised through the years?
You would ask me that, right? I don't have any idea, but I can tell you that this year will be my 18th PurpleStride, believe it or not. I've attended, started in Pittsburgh, where I lived for a long time until I moved to Florida. I've been to New Jersey's, Cleveland. I've been kind of all around the area. So I don't know, but I do know that I am a returning Grand Club member, and I know we're going to talk some tips and tricks about that tonight, Kevin. But for me, honestly, I'm really most successful when I just tell my story, how I got involved, how I got connected with pancreatic cancer, and why it's important to me. And it seems like people really want to support my efforts when they know the personal reason.
Yeah, that's the truth. And we're going to hear some more testimonials about that in just a second. People definitely want to support you and your story, and they want to support PanCAN. And tonight's event would not be possible without the support of our incredible national sponsor, Ipsen. So thank you to them, as they are our national PurpleStride sponsor. This year, you might have seen the announcement last month. We are thrilled to say that the 5-year survival rate for pancreatic cancer increased to 11%. And this represents a 1 percentage point increase from the prior year, from last year, and an increase of 5 percentage points over the last decade. That's progress. It signifies important progress, as it represents 622 more people, more loved ones, who will make it to that 5-year mark after their diagnosis. This is big news for our community. Each incremental step represents patients' lives. It's one more step towards that future goal of ours to increase the 5-year survival rate to 20% by the year 2030. And you all did this, right? You and your fundraising efforts are the exact reason for this change. You are helping to create a world in which all patients will thrive. 62,000 Americans are expected to be diagnosed with pancreatic cancer this year. Approximately 50,000 Americans will die from the disease, and pancreatic cancer remains the third leading cause of cancer-related death in the United States. So, Andrea, that's why I'm here. I know that's why you're here. I know that's why we're all here tonight. But we're also here tonight to hear some tips and tricks and talk some fundraising and the impact we're making. And it starts, Andrea, with some big news. So I'm curious, have you heard the big news? Because yes, everybody, we are back. We are so excited to be back in person with all of you on one big date this year, April 30th, 2022. So Andrea, what are you most excited about for April 30th coming in 2 short months?
I am really most excited to just be back in person. I miss my PanCAN family. I miss seeing people in person. I miss the camaraderie and the excitement and the passion that happens on that day and the energy. So for me, April 30th is going to be a really great day that we're back together in person.
If you agree with Andrea, please give us a purple emoji in their Zoom box or a thumbs up, or feel free to comment. Drop in the chat what you are most excited about being back in person come April 30th. We'd love to hear, folks, about what it is that you are so excited. There are some purple emojis, I know. Yes, in person, Mari says for sure. It's just really exciting to think about from coast to coast, that day of purple come April 30th. And yes, our friends in Louisville are doing it on May 14th, so we don't want to forget about you as well. So really exciting stuff, Andrea. As you can see, plenty of fun excitement coming up in the chat.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's really just excited to be back in person. It's been a long couple of years for sure. So even as we celebrate the important increase in the 5-year survival rate, which is huge, we know that there's more work to be done. We're not going to stop where we're at. The money raised through the PanCAN PurpleStride impacts people affected by pancreatic cancer in so many important ways. Your fundraising can give free one-on-one services and resources to patients and families during their most challenging time. Our goal is to raise $16.5 million this year. I know it's big, but each and every one of you plays such a critical role in helping us achieve that. We know that we can do this with nearly 70,000 Striders strong. Thank you for showing up and doing your part. So now we're going to dive into fundraising. But if you don't know where to start, or 16.5 million seems like a large number, I know it is, just set a small personal goal of $200 and start from there. So our aim this evening is to empower you to set and achieve your fundraising goals for PurpleStride so we can improve patient outcomes. Are you all ready?
I definitely am. And I think the first step, as you mentioned, is to set that goal. But I'm curious, Andrea, how do we set a goal that makes sense and is appropriate, right? We all want to reach for the stars, but we also want it to be attainable rather. So I'm curious, how have you approached the goal setting process and some tips for us?
So really, as a returning participant, some of the things that I like to consider and take into consideration is, first, what did I raise last year? Second, the timing. Am I getting started earlier? Am I creating more opportunity, or am I starting later than last year? Third, the overall sense of my network. I know I've heard from my friends and family about how much they are looking forward to being back in person. So I'm feeling pretty confident that I can increase my performance over last year. And last, honestly, I want it to be attainable, but also inspiring. It needs to be a little bit of a challenge, but not something that you feel so overwhelmed that you'll never reach. Honestly, the great thing is you can always go back and update your goals. As you reach them, continue to increase them. It's really the best feeling when you reach your goal and you can increase it to the next level. So you can celebrate and thank everyone who supported you in achieving that goal. But really, why stop there? You can update it and aim to do more and more and more. Kevin, for those who are new to PanCAN PurpleStride, can you share all the funds that raised through PanCAN, what it supports?
Yeah, absolutely, Andrea. And we do have some new folks. Suzanne is excited for her first in-person. So welcome, Suzanne. And Janice just organized her first team for PurpleStride LA, Team Harmony Heals. So definitely have some wonderful folks that are joining us. So really excited about that. So let's take a look at the impact your dollars can have. As you see here, a goal of $200, as Andrea mentioned, can give free life-changing support services to 20 patients facing pancreatic cancer, right? And our patient services team just recently surpassed 300,000 cumulative interactions to date. 300,000 people calling for help. Or what about 480? Perhaps you want to set your goal there. And that supports one research grantee for 3 weeks. And since 2003, we have awarded research grants to 203 scientists. So definitely the money you raise funds PanCAN missions. These are a great way, Andrea, by the way, get this word out to your teams, to your supporters, and say, did you know this? If I just hit this goal, it means this for me. So really great way to utilize these, Andrea.
Absolutely, Kevin. And those are some really impressive numbers when you think about what PanCAN has done and the amount of people that we have reached. It always helps to show people how their donation supports PanCAN, and it really does make an impact. As we know, people connect to stories. When you tell your story, you have the power to put real faces to the statistics of this disease, and also give your friends and family a way to join the fight with you. You're giving others the opportunity to positively change the future for patients and families across this country. One of the ways that you can make your story known is through writing it out and including pictures on your personal fundraising page on the PanCAN PurpleStride website. I know I've done that. I have a picture of my mom and the story about how she was diagnosed and her journey with this disease. And as you've seen in the resources, participants who personalize their fundraising page on the PanCAN PurpleStride website raise as many as 3 times as people that don't. That's a huge difference.
Yeah, huge difference, Andrea. And I would love, give me a thumbs up or let us know in the chat how many of you have already updated your personal page on MyStride or Central. Feel free to use that reaction emoji or just tell us in the chat, because it really can be a critical step. Yep, Diane Borison in Silicon Valley. Thank you. Sue in San Francisco, fantastic. Another one of our survivors. So really, we're excited to have, that's an easy way. Post a picture, tell your story. Let folks in and let them know why it's important to you. So can just offer that inspiration for folks who maybe haven't heard your story yet. And we want to take a look at an example here of one. And I'm really thrilled and excited how this person, our next guest, has done this, because putting your story on paper can be a very overwhelming task. I was looking around PurpleStride websites about a week ago, and I found one such story that just really moved me. And that's from Mari Alexander of PurpleStride San Antonio. Mari, thanks so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me. And I am honored to be, recognized. And so for sure.
Well, one of the things, Mari, that struck me when I was going down through the pages is your team name, Sweetums Strong. And I understand Sweetums was your husband. So did he mind being called Sweetums?
No, he grew up with the name Sweetums. His parents gave him that nickname. Not all of the brothers were so lucky. So some of them were chicken head and other things like that, but he was named Sweetums because he's so sweet, and it's true. So he's grown up with that nickname all this time. So
and something just as simple as that, just naming your team something that means something significant, can really bring folks in and have them ask questions and want to support you. Mari, we talked earlier, fundraising doesn't have to be hard, right? Do what you know. And I believe you and Bill's mother Sweetum's mother, I should say Sweetums, Sweetum's mother found a unique way to fundraise. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. When Bill was diagnosed in November of 2018, his mother started making hats and scarves, and her company name is Beanie Chick. And she started that just to raise money for the medical bills that we knew that we were going to have to do. Fast forward 2 months later, he passed away. And so we still wanted to use that money to raise money for pancreatic cancer and for the patients that are being diagnosed now. And so we sell through a market throughout the year. She has a website where 100% of the proceeds go back to pancreatic cancer. So she pays for all the supplies herself. And so literally whatever we make from those hats and beanies and scarves all go back to pancreatic cancer. And just when we're at doing craft shows and selling those beanies, just telling that story of he was diagnosed and 100% goes back to pancreatic cancer. You wouldn't believe how many people just come up and say, hey, I had someone who was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, or I just want to give you some money just because I love your story. So that is one of the ways that we do it throughout the year. And we have a little shop in a local coffee shop as well. And just having that where we raise money throughout the year. So all of our money 100% goes back to pancreatic cancer. I have a small business as well. And so I push during November where a percentage of my income goes back to pancreatic cancer as well. And it's on my website as far as my story. So a lot of people just support that way.
Yeah, do what you know, for sure. And Mari, the first time we talked as well, you shared with me that there were over 500 people at Sweetum's service, and you really would not have an opportunity necessarily to stay in touch with those folks and keep them updated on Sweetum's story. And where you have found a vehicle to do that is by connecting to Facebook. Yes. And reaching out to people through that vehicle for PurpleStride. Can you talk with me a little about that?
Sure. And so, of course, on all of his birthday or our anniversary or whatever, I also post, and try to raise money for pancreatic cancer. But during PurpleStride, I pushed really hard. And so even just right after we talked to you, I was number 3 on the team. I needed probably another $1,000 to get to the top to be number 1. And so all I did was on Valentine's Day, I said, I got to talk to, about Sweetum's today and tell my story. And then I got $1,000 that day. And so just from one person. And so it's just a matter of asking, being able to say, can you donate in honor of my husband? Can you donate in honor of whoever you're trying to raise money for? Or even if you don't have anyone who has been affected by pancreatic cancer, if you're just you're passionate about, raising money, $20, $5, whatever it is, will go a long way. So it's just a matter of asking and posting often.
Yeah.
So
thank you for sharing. I love spending part of my Valentine's Day with you as well, Mari, and hearing about your story. So thank you for sharing it with all of us tonight as
Absolutely.
well. Really appreciate it. Yep. We're going to drop a link in the chat for how to connect to Facebook fundraising. It's really easy. It just takes a couple of steps. And as you heard Mari say, you never know who's going to see your story that day, and it's going to resonate with them. And they're going to support you and understand how important this is to you. One of the most important things is to tell everybody that you're raising funds through PanCAN PurpleStride. Time to shout it from the rooftops. Now, we don't mean the literal rooftops, but the social rooftops using Facebook, as Mari just mentioned. If Facebook's not your thing, that is okay. The most important thing here is just to tell your story, whatever vehicle you might use, and how that can help achieve your goal. For those of you who may not be connected to Facebook, go ahead and drop in the chat perhaps other ways that you plan to shout your message from the rooftops, while we dig a little bit more into the benefits of those who do choose to use Facebook. Because connecting Facebook to fundraising really does have a lot of benefits, as Mari mentioned. It broadens your outreach, right? What we've seen through the years is folks who connect to Facebook raise on average 5 times as much than those who do not connect to Facebook, 5 times as much. It reaches those who care, just as Mari shared. You can easily invite your friends to donate to your Facebook fundraiser, but just as important, you can find new supporters. Your friends are encouraged to invite and share with their friends and their friends and their friends, which means you may receive gifts from folks you didn't even know would hear your story. And that's the beauty of it. And you can collect donations easily. Your friends can donate without ever leaving Facebook. 100% of the donations to Facebook will go towards your PanCAN PurpleStride fundraising goal. You have to connect through MyStride or Central though. So keep that in mind and you can do that. So we want to talk about how to raise money not using Facebook. And I'm curious if Travis Zay has managed to make it on the call tonight. Travis, if you have, come on off mute. I was looking through our list earlier and he may have got caught at work earlier today. But really, I had a conversation with Travis earlier this week. And you're seeing here the people that he is honoring for his team Take Down Cancer in Atlanta. One of the things he did that we've talked about is he's updated his personal story. He's updated his personal page with all 3 of these folks who mean something to him that have been affected by pancreatic cancer. And then as I continued to talk with Travis, and Travis, if you're on, please come off mute. I asked him, I said, what has been the most successful fundraiser that you and your team have done? Because keep in mind, Travis set a team goal of $40,000, gang. And he's already about halfway there. So as you look at these goofy pictures of Travis, and he was nice enough to share them with me, in the middle there is Travis with some long curly, not long blonde locks, not necessarily curly. And he put out a challenge that if he were to hit a certain amount of money, then he would shave his head. And I think, again, it goes back to having fun with the fundraising and doing something simple. Don't overthink it. Do something that people are going to want to watch and see and be a part of. And through this, Travis raised $26,000 by just shaving his head. So it really was a simple way for him. I say simple, I know he put a lot of work into it, but it really was a fantastic way for him to become involved and to involve his community around him as well. So, all right, I'm going to bring Andrea back in. Andrea, we just looked a little bit about how to make fundraising fun. One way is to build in fun goals like I'll shave my head if I get to a certain amount, right? Commit to doing those crazy things once goals are met. Wash the car of the person who gives the largest donation. Maybe promise to color your hair purple if a certain fundraising goal is met. I will say one of my most successful fundraising ideas is actually coming up in a couple of weeks, and I use Pi Day. Do I have any math geeks out there along with me? That's March 14th, 314. And all I do on March 14th is I post on Facebook, Happy Pi Day, everybody. If I raise $500 today, I'll take a pie to the face live on Facebook, right? Simple as that. It helps me raise hundreds of dollars every year. Friends love it. They love seeing me get a pie to the face. And it's just sort of become tradition. So we really want to see how creative this group is, Andrea. You're going to give us a letter. And we'd love for folks to list in the chat one way to fundraise that starts with that letter. So, Andrea?
Before I give a letter, I need to watch on Pi Day because I'm definitely donating to your team because I want to see the pie in the face. So yeah, I'm going to be watching your Facebook for sure. So the letter for you all is S. And I will start, and this is the worst example I'm going to give you because I would not do this, but you could raise money by singing a song that your supporters choose. And as I told Kevin before, I'll donate to not have to sing because you don't want to hear it.
No, that was not the deal, Andrea. Actually, since you said sing a song, I was going to actually pick a karaoke song. And if you sang a bar for it right now, I will donate $25 to your team.
And I said I would donate $25 to my own team not to sing today.
See, it's as simple as that, gang. We basically just raised $50 for Andrea right now in the moment. So just start with some things that are fun. Yes, Diana Lennon, share your link, Andrea. I think that is a great idea. Share your link. Continue to drop fundraising ideas that start with the letter S in the chat. Andrea, I'm going to share one of my recent favorites, if folks can see this. So I'm a team captain for PurpleStride DC. And the team and individual development chair sent a handwritten card to me. Sent a card is my S. And how cool is that? Just encouraging me to keep going as a participant and a team captain for PurpleStride DC. So send a handwritten card is mine as well.
Kevin, I'm loving these coming in. Katie's saying sell sandwiches. And this might be my favorite from Snapper, snap your fingers. I love it. I love it. It's appropriate.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can make money on that, Snapper, all for it. Nathan says score free throws for $5 donated. Now that is a great idea, especially for kids, Andrea. I could really see kids saying, like, every free throw I make, will you donate 50 cents or will you donate $1? And like, right, how many can you make in 10 minutes or so? I think I love that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I see too the soup supper. I like that idea as well. Spaghetti dinner. These are all really great ideas, everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Stephanie in Richmond, Virginia there, that spaghetti dinner sounds delicious. And you're right. So many restaurants are willing to partner with you on fundraisers as well. They have give back nights. So I really like that spaghetti supper idea. Really great. So yeah, really fun ideas, everybody. Keep them coming. Just think of a letter, and then how many can you think of that start with that letter? Sing karaoke, send a card, snap your fingers if you can make it work. But some great ideas there in the chat, Andrea.
Absolutely. I really love seeing the creativity from everybody for participants. You guys really do know how to put the fun in fundraising. So make sure you scroll through and jot down your favorites to reference later. And as Kevin mentioned, think about different letters of the alphabet and different fundraising you could do for those letters. You don't know necessarily, but your excitement and energy is contagious to those around you, and it makes people want to support you and this cause. So incorporate fundraising into what you love to do, the things you already do in your everyday life. Really, the sky is the limit.
Yep. Evie had an S in sew crafts. So if you think about Mari's story, she's sewing scarves and hats. So there's another one. Yep. If you fundraise at least $50, you'll receive this awesome new t-shirt. This is our shirt for 2022 that you helped decide and voted on back in December. So check it out. Here it is. All you have to do is raise $50 or more to earn it. Remember, that's each individual person. So be sure to share the news with your teammates so that they can get theirs as well. I'm excited to add it to my collection for sure this year. Andrea, earlier, I heard you mention that you were a Grand Club member as well. So we want to kind of talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super excited for this t-shirt as well. My husband likes to say that I'm a PurpleStride t-shirt hoarder. I like to say I'm a collector. I mean, 18 PurpleStrides over the years. I have gray volunteer ones. I have the purple participants. I have them all the way back from my very first one in 2008, believe it or not. I think it might be collectors by now.
Vintage, we like to say.
Yes, exactly. So that is right. I am a Grand Club member, and what is more fun than being a member of an elite club, honestly? Who do we have on the line? Raise your hand or put an emoji in if you were a Grand Club member last year or you're already ahead of the game and have reached it for this year. I want to see all these hands. I see lots of people raising hands.
It's like cheaper than golf.
Yep,
and
Nikki Williams is.
Well, certainly
Thank
cheaper
you,
than
Nikki.
racing.
Let's see, Vicki Olson,
Or
can you
skiing,
mute yourself,
right?
maybe? Vicky, there you go. Thank you. Tim Caggiano, Kim Simpson, Sue, thank you. Tamara Huffman, I see you. Diane,
I
we
see all
appreciate
the emojis coming in. Darla, Kimberly, Janice, Catherine. We got lots of Grand Club members on the call. I love it.
I love it. And if they're unfamiliar with the program, Andrea, can you explain? Because there might be folks who've never heard of this. Can you talk about what it is?
Yeah, absolutely. So Grand Club honestly is so easy. It's a nationwide program that recognizes our participants who individually raise just $1,000 or more for their PurpleStride event. When you do that, you get this year's exclusive brand new Grand Club item, which switches every year.
And drum roll, please, because we've got the design. Here it is.
So there it is. And I am so excited to earn my new sweatshirt this year. But keep in mind, due to supply chain issues, that we will be transitioning from this zip up hoodie to a pullover sweatshirt hoodie. But either way, who's not excited to be able to wear this? I have one of mine on tonight. This is one of my favorites. And it's really cool when you can wear them out and about because you do have people that ask you about them. What does it mean? Or they maybe know about PurpleStride and you can start a conversation. So it's really great awareness in the community.
Great minds think alike, Andrea. I've got mine on tonight too. And I think that's a great fundraising idea. If you wear this out in public, folks are going to ask about it and you'll gain supporters there. So really excited about that. I've got to get my Pi Day fundraisers coming up. So I'm hoping that's going to push me over, but we are here to support you. You're not in this alone, folks. We have so many resources available for you that support everything we've talked about today, so much more. We're going to drop a link in the chat so that you have everything at your fingertips. And this is the one-stop shop for everything PurpleStride.org resources. It's got from getting started, tips and tricks, one-sheeters, 4 simple steps, social media posts and pictures, other easy-to-use templates. It's all in that. And if you ever need additional support, whether it's help getting your Facebook connected or if you're having some challenges navigating MyStrider Central, we are definitely here to help. You can contact our customer service team. So the resources chat link is in the chat, and then the email and the phone number are here on your screen as well, and you can reach out to folks.
So speaking of one of my favorite resources, one of the tools that I've used to help in my recruitment efforts is the PanCAN PurpleStride app. I'm super excited that recently there have been some really great enhancements that made it easier to use now more so than ever. If you're not familiar with the app, all you have to go is to the App Store on your phone, search PurpleStride and download it. It makes fundraising so easy. I love it. I'm on my phone and I don't necessarily have time to get on my laptop. So it's really great to go through this app and to be able to thank your fundraisers and do all the latest updates. It makes it so much more streamlined in your fundraising efforts.
Yeah, and that was just updated. So if you haven't checked back in it in a while, it was just updated last month. So go in and check it out. One of the other things, many employers offer matching gift programs that match their employees' charitable donations in part or in full. And that, folks, can easily double the amount that you donate to PanCAN. Some companies will even match gifts made by spouses or retired employees. And there is a new feature on PurpleStride websites, just brand new, and it allows you to easily search for companies and see if they offer those matching donations. So when you or one of your supporters makes that donation, you can simply ask them to use the drop-down search for a company, their company. Does it double their donation? In most cases, that search then takes them also to the online pages they'll need to fill out that request. So you can see here, this is your one-stop shop. Again, we're dropping that link in the chat, purplestride.org/resources, and it links to all of that. Andrea?
Thanks, Kevin. So we are nearing the end of the program. We hope you know how much you are absolutely appreciated and what a critical role you all play in changing patients' lives each and every single day. So we also hope that you learned a few things, you jotted down some notes, and you're taking away a few things from this evening. What is the one takeaway from tonight that you're excited to try or maybe enhance for PanCAN PurpleStride 2022? Just drop a note in the chat where we want to see what you guys have to say that you really learned tonight that you're excited to start doing or do different this year. First and foremost, set a goal for your fundraising. Remember, if each strider raises $200, we will surpass our goal of $16.5 million. And $200 per fundraiser really is so easy to do. Tell your story to everyone and anyone that will listen. You never know who may have been impacted by pancreatic cancer or who has a connection through their friends, through their coworkers, through their family. And lastly, as we talked about, make sure you download the PurpleStride app. It's easy to have right on your phone. One-touch fundraising. Everybody has their phone on them at some point in the day, and it's really quick and easy to support your efforts now through the event in April.
Speaking of your phones, everybody, get them handy. We're going to do something fun in just a little bit. Normally on these Zoom calls, people are like, pay attention, don't pick up your phone. But I'm going to actually have us pick up our phone. But first, I want to say thank you all so very much for taking time out of your schedules to come here this evening and learn more about setting and hitting your PurpleStride goals. We're going to get to questions here in just a second. But without you, there would be no PanCAN PurpleStride. You are critical to the work we do each and every day. All right, so I said get your phones ready. So let's do something fun. Everybody turn on your camera. We're going to take a group selfie. You got it? And what I'd love for you to do is take the camera, put yourself in the forefront and the computer in the back, and then you post the picture to PanCAN PurpleStride, hashtag PanCAN PurpleStride, post it on social media, and maybe, just maybe, you might get some donations and you show folks that your commitment to PanCAN PurpleStride. So love for you to take some kind of a silly selfie or a great selfie right now with us in the background. Wave, everybody, because I see Danielle's taking her selfie right now. So wave. And we're going to keep an eye out for all your great selfies at hashtag PanCAN PurpleStride. So thank you so much for joining.